Hi everybody, in this video we're going to talk about coils. We're going to talk about the types, the shapes, the sizes, performance. I got a really cool performance I'm going to show you with this Double D2. Stay tuned, we'll get started right now. Alright, what are we doing when we cut that detector on? What's happening? Well, I'm going to tell you real quick, before we get started on the coils, I'm going to explain just a little bit about what's going on. It's two coils. In this particular one, this is called a concentric coil, but I'm going to just explain with this one. It's two coils, one on the outside and one here. What happens is this outer coil transmits a signal, electromagnetic field. And it's actually doing up and down, but it's doing a field. And anytime a metal object goes through a magnetic field, it creates a voltage. And this center coil here is actually receiving that anomaly in that field and trying to analyze in the machine's head. What it's trying to do is the computer's trying to analyze, is that ferrous, non-ferrous material, how strong is it? And that's what you hear in your ear, the analysis. And that's why different machines do different things, because they all got different electronics in them. But anyway, that's basically what you're doing, electromagnetic field around it. And anytime metal goes through that field, it creates a voltage and it receives it. Just kind of give you a quick overview. So let's talk about the different types of coils. First, this is, like I said, a concentric coil. It's got two coils, one here sending out and one receiving right there. You see these on a lot of cheaper detectors and mid-range detectors right there. This right here is called a mono-loop coil, and this is actually this transmits and receives. This coil here does both, and this is actually used on pulse machines. That's the only one that will use that mono-loop coil like that. And these are double D coils. A lot of y'all see those. And this has got two coils. All except the mono-loop coil got two coils, one sending and one receiving. And this particular one is called a double D because there's a D shape right there. That's one coil. And this is the second coil right here. Now, the reason why these double Ds, let's talk about shapes too. They all come in different shapes. This is like an elliptical coil, and that's good if you're trying to get in between places and all real sharp spots, so that's good for that. And y'all know the smaller coils are good for trashy areas, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But let's talk about the field, the electromagnetic field this is generating. I'll put a picture up on screen like that right there. Basically, on a concentric coil, you're basically getting anything that falls within that electromagnetic field right here, because it's sending and receiving. You're getting everything in there. So if you got iron and you got a piece of silver coin here, it may cancel out because you're getting everything underneath of there. So it's not very, it doesn't separate anything in this field right here. With the double D, they designed that so when it comes out, your main field of search is in this area, but we're going to test that in a minute. I'm going to show you something kind of interesting. If you look anywhere on the internet and you look double D search field, it will show you that that's the search field. It's kind of tighter range in there. But it does receive in here too, and I'm going to show you that in just a second. It's kind of interesting how that does work. We could actually map it out a little better, but we're not going to do that on this video. But it's pretty interesting how this does work. You know, of course, when you get into trashy areas, you want to use this one because if you got a piece here and a piece here, you get it and it catches both of them, where this one won't. And I'm going to show you that on this coil. We're going to test it in just a second here. But anyway, we're going to do a quick test here. I want to show you one other thing here. This coil down here, you want to make sure that is tight to the shaft and it's not wobbling on you, because it will cause it, listen, it will cause it to get some readings. So make sure that is as tight as you can to the shaft there. I got a lot of interference in the house here. Pretty quiet now. All right, this is a quarter by itself. And it does read on the edge here. It does read here, and it does read here. Anywhere around this coil edge, you're going to get a reading. Not just in the center, you will get a reading here. It will go a little less as you get higher right here, but you will get a reading on this if it's up close. Now, what I'm going to do is show you what happens. Well, first I'll show you going across. No problem here. Now, if I put this drill bit, which is steel, with this quarter check this out. Absolutely nothing. The computer can't process both of these together, and you will not hear it. That's why you want to go to a small coil in a real trashy area. I mean, you can't even hear it. Nothing. If I take just the drill bit by itself, nothing, because I have the iron off. Let's cut the iron on and listen to it. All right, iron's on now. This is the quarter. Give me. It's trying to give me just a little bit of, not real solid. This is a drill bit. 100% iron. Give me a good solid rated iron. Now if I put this quarter on top of this drill bit, what will happen? I should just hear the iron. Just hear it, listen. Don't even hear the quarter at all, just the iron. That's why in trashy areas, when you got good targets right next to the iron, you won't hear it. So that's why you want to go to the smaller coil when you're in a trashy area. All right, stay tuned. All right, so coils are just like detectors. One can't do it all, okay? You got to dab with one detector, up top, down with something. Different detectors do different things. Different coils do different things. So which one should you get? It all depends on what you're doing. One thing, like we talked about, trashy areas, you're really going to have to get a little coil. That way, if you got iron and a good target, you can just kind of concentrate. Instead of trying a big coil, you'll get all of it. So they're all good for trashy areas right there. The double D coils are good at separating at depth right there. You can get a little better depth separation with those coils. The small coils actually have actually easier to pinpoint too, because they're so small. When you're trying to pinpoint, it's right there, so you can kind of get a better idea of where the target is. They're good for tight spaces. I use this sometime up in when I'm gold panning, because the rocks, it's huge rocks and boulders everywhere, so you can get up in between here and little sluices and all. So that's really good for really tight areas. But they are a little less sensitive to small gold. The bigger coil will pick up a smaller piece of gold than this one will, and it'll go deeper. This one, the bigger coil will definitely 100% go deeper than the smaller coil. This and that. So you're definitely going deeper with the larger coil. On the beaches, I like the bigger coil because it's not a really trashy area. You're only looking for one target most of the time on the beach, so you don't have an issue with hitting steel and that. Once in a while, you'll find a spot on the beach that's got some trash or nails or something might give you a problem, but 99% of the time, the bigger coil is better for the beach, in my opinion, anyway. It does go deeper and it's more sensitive to smaller targets, little earring backs or something. This one would be better. Otherwise, you just got to pick what really suits you, what fits your need on that. It's all a matter of preference to some people. Some people like the other coil, the 11-inch, is good for all-around purpose coil. If you could just get one coil, the 11-inch will do anything, most everything you want to do. Trashy areas, good for the little coil. But anyway, that kind of wraps up just kind of talking about the different kind of coils you can get for different detectors and which ones maybe you should get. So anyway, I hope that helped explain kind of how they work, the different type of coils out there. There's one other kind of coil, it's called a 2-box coil. It's got a giant coil in the front and a giant coil up here, and it's for picking up like caches and big stuff. And I actually got one, but I haven't perfected it yet, so we'll do that on another video maybe. But anyway, that's gonna wrap this one up. Hope y'all enjoyed trying to just understanding how these coils work. I'll do another video on actually how electronics work in the coil itself maybe. I'm working on that, but I want to show you exactly how that field works and how a nail actually produces a voltage in it. But we'll talk about that on a different video. All right, appreciate everybody coming along on this coil video. I hope y'all learned something. I know I did, just playing around with this stuff. So anyway, appreciate everybody coming. Don't forget to like, comment below, share, subscribe to the Gigmaster. You never know what we'll be doing next. Stay tuned.